I mean, what I tried to do in this exhibition is to actually show these as examples of popular culture and how from 1947 through to the present day we're able to see through posters how society has changed. These are posters which are able to convey information about the time in which they're produced, so it's really giving you a look at sort of post-independence history through the posters. I mean, I'm keen to say that this isn't just a kind of quick look at Bollywood. It's more, a serious look at graphic arts. They're fantastic, colourful images, which first and foremost are forms of advertising, but beyond that, they're also documents of society. So, we can look at images in the 1970s, for instance, which are full of violent images, very strong action-packed films. And this was because they were reflecting what was happening in Indian society at the time. So India was going through a period of crisis. It had just had a war with Pakistan and formed Bangladesh. There was a state of emergency which impeded personal freedoms. There was rising inflation, crime. And this is all reflected in the films. And therefore the posters at the time are particularly violent images. The hoarding artists are here just to give you an example of contemporary practice. Hoarding art is now a kind of dying art, being taken over by computer-generated images. But the hand-painted tradition has been something that's been there since the beginning of cinema and has continued till now. It remains to be seen whether it continues beyond this point. But the whole technique of actually transferring a tiny design stage by stage into a massive 10-foot by 20-foot hoarding is unique.
I wanted something which reflected the melodrama and the stereotypes of Indian life, and I felt the Bollywood poster did that very well. I wanted the work to have some humor to it so that it didn't become too depressing, because a lot of the issues that I talk about are quite depressing. So I wanted to use humor, parody, and satire to talk about these issues, and the Bollywood poster seemed to be the ideal medium to do that. In England, I actually wasn't at all conscious of my difference in skin color. I was aware that I was brown, but it didn't, how dark or light or brown I was didn't really matter. But once I moved to India, I became very self-conscious of my skin color. And there's a little phrase, "They don't play in the sun, you'll get darker, no one will marry you."
I mean, the most sort of recent posters, for instance, are computer-generated images, which are produced in that way because the film industry wants something that's going to be slick, sophisticated, and matches international standards. So it's something that they really see as bringing Indian cinema out into the global market, which is exactly what it's done in the last 10 years.